Islanders urged to eat spider crab as the stocks surge. This is from the Jersey Evening Post. Spider crabs may not look particularly appetizing, but fishermen are urging islanders to include the spiky species in their diets after the stocks surge in recent months. An influx of swarms on Jersey's shore has caused concern since 2022, with environmentalists saying the species has been attracted to the warmer waters caused by climate change. Now, Jersey, if you don't know, is an island off the coast of France that is owned by England. The large aggressive crustaceans has destroyed shellfish farms in France, and the Jersey Oyster Company decided not to seed mussels for the last several years. The government of Jersey's head of marine resources confirmed that in recent years there has seen irregular large catches of spider crabs in both nets and pots, but stressed that the migration around this time of year was normal. The large number of crab can affect some forms of fishing. They are a pain to net fishermen who struggle because there's a lot on the ground, but that's just a part of the season. It's also a bit of a pain for some fishermen as these crabs are not worth much money. We're slowly trying to grow markets and businesses to create a product out of them. That's been ongoing for the last few years, trying to educate and change people's eating preferences. We're trying to tell people that brown crab is a winter crab and not available in the summers. A lot of people have lost touch with food seasonality. We would really encourage locals to eat more of them and choose more of the stunningly beautiful yummy crab. There are similar such schemes in Norway which encourage people to eat seasonal forms of seafood, which were abundant rather than the fashionable forms of fish. Jersey's Fishermen Association president said, "Because the market is bad, we're throwing them back into the water, which is a shame. The stocks are very strong at the moment and it throws the balance out." One of our really good mainstay fisheries for the catching sector has always been lobster. But when the vast majority is spider crabs, lobsters cannot compete. The crab are taking advantage of the warmer waters. We have a lot more of them inshore for longer periods of time and even all year round. A couple of years ago, these crab were rebranded in Cornwall and they now call them Cornish king crab. They're not very big, but they're called Cornish king crab, and that has created a market for them. They catch them in what they call tangle nets. It's like a gill net, a big mesh gill net. And the fishermen are making pretty good money off of them. They have a really lucrative market and they're doing quite well. Not sure why Jersey is not doing the same thing, just rebrand them. There is lots of them now, they just need to find a market for them. I talked to a fisherman probably 15 years ago from Wales, and he was catching them then in tangle nets. He just called them crab. I assume it's the same ones. They would sit their nets for 2 or 3 days, go out in the morning and pick them up. They fished right off the beach. They launched their boats, go out for a couple hours, collect up all their nets, and then land their boats, drive home, and spend the rest of the day picking crab out of the nets. They're a real pain to get out of the nets, as you can imagine, but at that time there was nothing else around to catch, and they were making a living just catching these crab. They weren't worth a lot of money, but there were a lot of them. You just needed a lot of patience. Hopefully here in Jersey they can get it figured out and get a market for them. Catching them in traps would be a lot better, but I see in Cornwall they're using tangle nets as well. It does work. A fisherman in Cornwall said if the nets are hauled every second day, the crab are not too hard to get out of the net, but the longer they sit there, the more tangled they get, and they become a real problem just to get out. And I can imagine that having to pick them out all day long. But in Cornwall, they're getting a pretty decent price for them, and that makes it worthwhile, I'm sure. Good luck to the guys in Jersey. I'm sure you'll figure it out. I've never had the pleasure of trying one of these. I bet they're good.